Okay, so for this review, I had to uninstall the blatantly Yuri alarm, and based on this episode, it's probably gonna have to stay like that for a while. The final member of the team, Akira Kenjo, joins this week and promptly steals the heart of our main protagonist, who by the end of the episode is writing Akira's name repeatedly in her notebook. Ah, isn't that sweet? The main protagonist of this kids show has become a yandere stalker bitch. Wait. Then again, Akira isn't exactly all that innocent either, so it looks like she's going to be hitting on Yui from Precure Trick in the upcoming crossover film. Good lord, she even does that stupid wall thing you see in every shoujo manga ever. I think the term is kabedon. Anyway, for most of the episode, all of the characters except for Yukari mistake her gender. Yukari likely already knew that the Kenjo family only has daughters, but I guess she kept it to herself, more than likely because she wants Ichika to go full on Yuri, so that she can swoop in later and pick her for herself. Just makes too much sense, doesn't it? Anyway, amongst all that strawberry panicky goodness, Ichika helps Akira find chocolates to give to her sick little sister, Miku. That was last week, let's move on from that. Akira buys chocolate for her as well as one for Ichika as thanks for her help, which turns out to be a giant Valentine-looking chocolate. Are there places out there that sell those things year-round, or is that just a month-old chocolate? Anyways, it turns out Akira had to move a fair distance away from her parents and sister in order to commute to her high school. It's clear that she's lonely because of this, but is willing to bear with it as long as she's able to give Miku the chocolate she buys for her and is able to see her smile. And cue the monster! I think a pterodon this week. Seriously, Toei, hire a new monster designer to come in and steal the chocolates. Gotta give it to these guys though, they're impeccable with their timing and choice of sweets every week. With all the chocolates in town drained of their Kirakira, it looked like Akira had to visit her sister empty-handed that day. That is until Ichika offered up her slightly damaged but still good chocolates. They melted it down and Ichika created some nice little doghouse-shaped chocolates. To everyone's surprise, Akira calls the chocolates cute as opposed to cool looking, and this apparently clues Himari and Aoi into Akira's true gender. I wouldn't say that's the most incriminating piece of evidence ever, considering I would call it cute too. Then again, I am the guy who owns a sizable plushie collection. I don't have a problem! Anyway, with chocolates in hand, Akira heads straight for the hospital to see her sister, only to end up running into Pterosaur again. The group tries to protect Akira, but in the process, Whip ends up revealing her secret identity to her. In turn, Akira proves her dog-like loyalty to her new friend by protecting her from an attack, and thus proving herself worried to have one of her chocolates turn into a toy. You know that chocolate was meant for a terminally ill girl, right? God of this universe, or whoever keeps making these stupid transformation trinkets. Well, whatever, Akira's transformation sequence is pretty damn awesome. It's probably my second favorite after Aoi's, as it is extremely stylish, thanks in no small part to the obvious nods to the Takarazuka review. Very appropriate considering Akira's VA, Nanako Mori, actually performed for them from 2005 to 2009 before getting into voice acting. As a result, she also developed a great singing voice, as can be heard through her insert song this week. The soundtrack to this anime is going to be fantastic. Anyway, using her enhanced sense of smell thanks to her dog attribute, Akira is able to keep pace with Rodon's diabetic cousin and eventually take it down. Props for pulling off some impressive Mario-style wall jumping too. With that, the episode ends with Ichika's first love coming to an abrupt end after finally learning Akira's true gender from her father. Really, Ichika? Seeing how good she looked in a skirt didn't really tip you off? Or are you just into that sort of thing? Oh well, now you can at least say that you're just as smart as Tamaki Suo. Anyway, this was a really fun episode. Even before this episode premiered, Akira had become one of the more popular members of this team, and she did not disappoint. Her definitively more masculine demeanor makes her stand out from the maid Precure before her. While the Takarazuka character has been done in magical girl anime before, it's never been fully done in Precure, in spite of them having a good candidate in the past. Akira on her own merits came off as very noble and selfless, yet showed subtle signs that she was kind of putting up a front. Hopefully, like Yukari, we'll get to see more of these conflicting emotions in the very near future. Also, I can't be the only one who kind of heard Uranus and Neptune's theme in Akira's transformation sequence, right? The episode itself was incredibly charming thanks to the main Ichika/Akira bits throughout. No big morals or anything really profound this week, but it really didn't need it when Akira's coolness factor alone kept things interesting and cute. As always, I'll be back next week with more reviews, and until then, farewell for now, my friends, and think I hear a couple using my door to kabedon with. Excuse me. You know, the idea of a kabedon is that you're supposed to use a wall to hit on people, right?